All right, here we are. Welcome to the Scorched Earth podcast. I'm John. On the sports one, I'm JT, but here I want to seem a little more regal, so I'll go with John. And knowledgeable. Today, Tuesday, 21st of 2025, the day after. And, wow, so much to get into today. Make sure you subscribe. Producer Stacy, God bless her, she's the best. She's always telling me, make sure they subscribe, leave comments. And I'm going to do something right here. I'm going to ask for your input. I'm going to tell a little story here. It's a little dark of a day for me. It literally feels like somebody reached in and ripped out my soul, but it is what it is. I'm going to just tell a little anecdote maybe to lighten the mood and then get into the news. Tell me in the comments, do you want me to start with the news and end with the story, or start with the story, maybe ease into the news? All right, here we go. So today is Tuesday, and it's Taco Tuesday. And in Southern California here, I don't know where you live, tacos are a rite of passage. They are a big thing. We have a heavily Hispanic community. The tacos are just amazing. And Tuesday is a day where, quote unquote, they give you a discount on tacos. So we all herd in there like sheep, eat our tacos, and then go on to the rest of our grub for the other 6 days until Taco Tuesday can appear. I will tell you this, Trump has signed some executive orders on some deportation things. We're going to get a little more into that tomorrow. But I will tell you this, if he deports the people who are making the tacos, he's going to get impeached again. And let me tell you, this is the guy who got impeached twice in the first term. Let's see if we can make it a 3-for-3 this time, and maybe actually get through the Senate and get him out of here. But, don't mess with tacos. You can mess with people, you can mess with the environment, you can mess with the economy, but tacos? No habla español. No. So, I watched a movie last week, and it was called Kraven the Hunter. And first of all, it's a DC movie, or not a DC, it's an MCU movie, excuse me. And it's about a guy who wreaks revenge. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, his name is Kraven the Hunter. I mean, you got the name Kraven. Do you really need to add the Hunter? I mean, who isn't thinking that? Kraven the Hunter. No kidding. I mean, duplicitous, here we are. Unless you're talking about me, and then it's me craving more food. That's about the only thing it would be. So I'm watching this movie, and the star of it, I thought it was actually a pretty good movie. I think it was unfairly criticized by the critics, but whatever. It's just fluff. It's a popcorn movie. It is what it is. The star of it is Aaron Taylor Johnson. I really don't know him. I watch a movie a week in the theater. Yeah, somebody actually goes to the theater. And I've seen him in a couple little things. I think he was in Kick-Ass. He was in The Fall Guy, did some other stuff, but not really. This was his breakout movie. Now, I'm not really going to get into the movie. I don't care. But let me tell you something about this cat. This guy walks around without a shirt like for a third of the movie, and I don't blame the dude. This dude looks like they locked him in a gym and fed him steroid soup literally for a year. I mean, this dude is insane. It's literally like a cartoon character. And I go, does this dude even have human DNA? I mean, does he have the same DNA I do? Oh my God. So I'm watching it and I'm thinking to myself, if I was this cat, I'd never put a shirt on. I may draw a tie on my chest, but I would never put a shirt on. I come from the other side of society where literally you could give me an Ozempic IV and I don't lose weight. I literally don't. I'm one of those people, I watch a commercial on TV and I gain 2 pounds. Believe me, you're not going to be getting any full body shot. Yeah, don't worry. All right. So we're talking about the inauguration. Lots to get to. First of all, I'm glad it was in the rotunda. Now, he claimed it was in the rotunda because it was so cold out there. It was actually the same temperature as Barack Obama's inaugural in 2009. And he probably didn't want to have the comparisons of Obama's 2 million people to his 45 plus the gardeners. So they held it in the rotunda. And I thought to myself, this is actually a really cool thing because all the people who are attending his inaugural were the same people who happened to be there January 6, 2001. Hey, great news. We don't have to have any tour guides or any ushers to tell them where to go. Yeah, you already know where Nancy Pelosi's office is. Oh, you know where the hiding spot in the parking garage where Mike Pence was hoping he wouldn't be hung. Yeah, all right, we got it all figured out. You know, don't worry. Just ask the shaman there, the Viking guy, where to go, how to get into Schumer's office. What a world. The thing that really struck out to me the most was big tech. Big tech, literally, man. It was like they were all up there if you ever watch hockey, at the end of a hockey series in the playoffs, they all get in a line and they all just wait for the other guy to come by, the victor to come by. And they were all kowtowing down to Trump. And you know what? Trump won. I'm going to resist. I think we all should resist. But you know what? Give the devil his due. He won. Straight up. It wasn't rigged. It wasn't anything else. He won legitimately. But the thing that really surprised me is I think big tech must be literally retarded. Because, and you're saying, well, why is that? Well, what are you doing out there showing off? I don't understand what the PR move is. Are you thinking that big tech is the only people who are secretly supporting Trump? Where's big oil? I don't see one of those guys. Where's big pharma? I don't see any of those guys. Those guys are hiding. They're kind of like all the healthcare CEOs after Luigi took out that cat from United. Yeah, let's go MIA. Let's take everything off the website. We don't need my picture seen. Thanks. I'll just be the black silhouette. And I was thinking, boy, they're really, really just lining up. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because Trump wants his ego stroked, but something just seemed bizarre, real bizarre. And I would like to say it was really classy in the vein of Melania Trump's nude lesbian photos for Lauren Sanchez to show up in the lacy bra for the inaugural. You know, and Mark Zuckerberg trying to get a little sneak peek. You know, come on, guy. Can't you afford a hooker? Man, oh, man. You know, after the speech, Elon Musk went out to the crowd and he did literally the Nazi salute twice. And he was saying sometimes it mattered who was elected president and sometimes it didn't. I'm thinking, could you elaborate when it didn't matter? When was the time it really was okay that we got some incompetent like George Bush? You know, was that okay? You know, hey, it only got us into a 14-year war, right, in Iraq. Yeah, don't worry. Hey, and don't worry about your civil liberties with the Patriot Act. You know, we don't need that stuff. You know? So Trump, in his speech, declared that we're going to have a national emergency at the border. He's going to put an executive order out there. But unfortunately, it's the same thing he did in 2019. And nothing really changed. I don't understand what that is. I mean, where's the wall? What did the executive action do then? Biden didn't undo the executive action. So really, what are we talking about here? And we're also talking about the guy who killed the immigration bill, which would have been the most formative legislation literally in 50 years when it comes to immigration in this country. Just ask, you know, Senator Jeff, whatever that cat is from Oklahoma. God bless that Okie conservative. You know, he was the guy who was thrown to the pit. He got the bill. He got it right there. And then Trump said, nah, we don't need it. It's too much of a political issue. I need it in November. I want to say, it's not Tefford. Oh, man. And then Trump was kind enough to tell us that he was saved by God to make America great. You know, for the life of me, and I know some doctors and I know some people in the medical profession. I will learn how to speak, I know, promise. Nobody has seemed to indicate to me, and I've asked this question, how do you repair ear cartilage? You don't. Yeah, you can pierce an ear and it'll grow back, but if you take a chunk of an ear back, it doesn't grow back. How did his grow back? How is his ear there? I mean, he said he lost part of his ear. That's what he said. How did that happen? And then he also was kind enough to tell us that he was saved by God to make America great. And I'm thinking to myself, man, there's no better endorsement than become an atheist. Because let me tell you something. If that's what God wants, I ain't down with that. He also claimed that the Panama Canal was operated by the Chinese. Unfortunately for him, he's 50 years too late. It is operated by the Panamanians. The Panamanians have operated it. They have paid for it. They have financed it ever since it was given back to them in 1979. And as far as I'm concerned, that's their stuff. That's their land. Go ahead. We get a sweetheart deal anyway, bringing boats through. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal because China doesn't even use it. They ship all their stuff to L.A., put it on a train car, and ship it to New York. That's what happens. They're not using the Panama Canal. Oh, yeah, we want to go through hurricanes. Yeah, sure you do, buddy. Then he was kind enough to claim there's only two genders. There's male and female. I don't even understand why this is red meat for the GOP, but let me help everybody out there. For my Republican listeners, understand this. You and your party have been wrong on every social issue in history. No, I didn't say you were right once. You have been wrong on every social issue. You are literally batting 0, 0, 0, 0. I throw a couple more zeros in. That's what my Shiba Inu and Bitcoin's worth. It's like 12 zeros and then a 1. And my buddy has like 20 million shares of it, and he goes, Johnny, if it gets to a penny, I'm a millionaire. I'm like, yeah, all right, Bill, good luck. You got a better chance of getting through the 405 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at 30 miles an hour than you do that coming to a cent. But let's go with that, you know? Let's talk about some of the things that the Republicans have historically opposed. Equal voting rights in the 60s. They said in the 68 campaign for president that, quote unquote, they had done enough for the black people. Okay. Let's think about that. Let's go to another one that they were incredibly wrong. Remember back in the day, 90s, when they said, we cannot ban smoking from bars? It will destroy the restaurant industry. It will destroy the bar industry. It will be un-American. You're taking away my rights. You know, kind of like I heard with my friend from TikTok the other day. No, we're not. It's just changing the narrative. And people adapt. Give people some credit. On one side, the Republicans want to tell you how great the American people are, and then they're saying, well, if you even alter anything, that they are incapacitated and they're like infantile babies. Come on. What happened to the bar industry? It got even bigger. Yeah, go figure. Because now people who didn't like smoke would go there. Figure it out, man. Come on. And then finally, and this is the pivot point, really, for him and his little trans thing. Let's get something straight. In 10 years, the GOP is going to move off trans because trans lifestyle is going to be accepted by mainstream America. It isn't now. It is not. I'm not going to say it is. But at the end of the day, they're just people. And I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. I could really give a rat's ass about it. But if it saves 1 or 2 kids from killing themselves because they want to identify as a dog, cat, balloon, I could care less. It doesn't affect my life at all. If they can get a little happiness, go get it. Go get it, Tiger. Yeah. Call yourself a doorknob. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. And the pivot point here is forever, we had the GOP against gay marriage. Gay marriage, gay unions, gay marriage was going to destroy the Institute of Marriage. What happened? You know what? We finally allowed people from same-sex relationships to actually get married. And you know what we really did? We allowed them to be able to inherit the other's property, get medical benefits, get other social benefits that normal couples would get. And you know what? That happened 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And you know what? Whoa, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. The world didn't come to an end. And it's so funny how they think something is going to be the end of the world. And then when it passes and everything's okay, they move on to the next end of the world scenario. It's literally the GOP is like Chicken Little. Every social issue has to be the end of the world. This is the demarcation line. This is the red line in the sand. And it never is. Because you know what? Americans get along. We figure it out. We want to make the best for everybody. Because you know what? Back in the day, it was we wanted to hate on black people. And then as we got to know them, as society integrated, it's like, well, I know a couple. They're cool. They're really cool. They're actually, all my black friends are actually cooler than me. Not hard to believe, right? And then it came like the gay people. They were stigmatized. They had to wear the Hester Prynne scarlet letter. And then you had a brother-in-law, you had a sister, you had somebody, and you found out, wow, they're gay. And you know what? They were actually cool. Because you know what? They're human beings. And I'm not going to get into the debate on the biology and the scientific, but I have a really, really great friend. And she once told me, she's gay, and she told me, and it was just literally the most poignant thing I've ever heard. She said, I'm gay. I've always been gay. This is who I am. She goes, why would I choose a lifestyle that is this difficult, that is this tough? And it's the same thing for trans people. Why would they choose something that makes their life so difficult? Unless it's how they really felt. The GOP acts like you can go to school and by the time they come home after recess, they're going to switch genders. They're going to have a surgery. Oh, yeah. America's doing surgeries without medical insurance. Yeah, right. I can hear Bernie Sanders laughing right now. And finally here on the Trump inauguration, I guess Friday night he launched another Bitcoin. I don't know enough about Bitcoin to really give you some accurate information, but from everything I researched today, it's a Solana Bitcoin, and supposedly Trump and his allies own 80% of it, and if they can get people to buy into it, the value obviously rises, okay, because there's only a certain number of them. And the number I was seeing this weekend, was that they look to make $25 billion. And we always talk, especially the Democrats, the liberals, about the dark money out there. And there's a lot of dark money. There's dark money on our side. There's definitely dark money on their side. And I don't even know how much big tech's putting into this. But, until we can get a Supreme Court where we can reverse the United decision, which basically said you can give unlimited dark money to campaigns. You don't have to report it. You don't have to label who you are. America is just going to get more and more corrupt. We are literally Russia light. That is exactly what we are. We are starting on that authoritarian flight. I mean, isn't Putin surrounded by oligarchs? Isn't that what big tech is? They're the oligarchs. They're the new oligarchs. And then we're going to restrict some more voting rights for the minorities. And we're going to take away this right. And we're going to do this. And you know what? Eventually, we're going to have elections like Russia does. Like 3 hours before they open the polls, they call it. Oh, wow, Putin won again. All right. And for all my friends out there, I'm going to give you some advice. The next 4 years are going to be tough. Right here. Right here is where I'm talking about. You get your tumbler, okay? And you put some alcohol in there, okay? And then you go to work. So when you're surrounded by all the jubilant little MAGAs, and I was talking to a couple today, you just sit there and go, uh-huh, and you take a sip. And I'm telling you, you put some rocket fuel in there, that literally would start a top fuel dragster. I'm telling you, you get the vape pen with the marijuana cartridge, or you get the tumbler, and nobody can see what's in the tumbler. It's just our secret. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave some comments about how you want me to do this. All right. Bye.